Let's talk about the brand new Pixel Buds Pro 2s. I have been using these incessantly for the last several days. I've basically just kept them in like as much as I could possibly manage to keep them in. And so I think that I have quite a few thoughts to share on these earbuds. I do want to say quickly before we go any further, if I'm a bit more rambling and a bit like harder to follow than usual in this video, I had a pretty bad migraine over the weekend, took out like 2 days of my life. I'm probably operating at about half capacity right now, but I really wanted to talk about these earbuds and bring this video to you guys because I am a great big dork. So let's review the Pixel Buds Pro 2. So in case you missed my unboxing and first impressions video, I do want to quickly give you guys some context. I was a big fan of the original Pixel Buds, but they just did not have a good enough fit for me. They would slip and fall out of my ears far too quickly once they were sort of broken in, and that was a big problem. In fact, it's not just me that has this issue. I actually let my wife try these. I cleaned them off real good for her, and I said, hey, you like your A-series? Try these. She went for a run with them, came back from the treadmill upstairs after about 5 minutes and said, I cannot wear these. They are falling out of my ear so fast. They just don't fit well. They're kind of big. They're just a physically large earbud. I don't know, there's just nothing there that kind of holds them in place. With these new earbuds though, not only are they significantly smaller, and I'll do this size comparison again, this blew my mind how much smaller these are. They're way, way, way smaller. They are lighter, but they also have this little ridge in the back which serves to hold them in place. Now, unlike the A-series, that little nub actually points up into part of your ear. This one sort of goes the other way. It sort of rests in your ear, and I was kind of skeptical as to how well that would actually work, how well these would stay in my ear, how comfortable they would be long term. And guys, let me just tell you, these are, after I think I'm on day 4 or 5, and like I said, I've worn them a ton. These are the most comfortable earbuds with the most reliable fit that I have ever used. They just stay put. It is unbelievable how good the fit is for me. Besides that, from a physical standpoint, I think that they look fine, right? Like they're fine. They look like a Pixel product. I do have the green color. The touch area, I think, is large enough to work fairly reliably. I didn't have any accidental presses. I did occasionally have some times where presses weren't necessarily picked up, but that is far from an issue that is unique to these earbuds. I wish that the case was just a little bit smaller. It's definitely not a small case, and I do feel like this material, it's not as bad as the OnePlus buds in terms of picking up scuffs, but you can see it's already picked up a little bit of a scuff back there. There's also a little speaker on the case, which is there for some reason. Basically, when you plug it in, it'll make a little chime and little things like that, which I suppose could be useful. I'm actually using the Find My Device network to play a sound, and it's lighting up and, as you can hear, playing a sound, and I guess that speaker could be useful for that. From that physical perspective, I have no real complaints with these things. They're small, they're comfortable, they're light, and most importantly, they just stay put in my ears. And that's not my only thing that I have found myself really enjoying about these. It's not the first set of earbuds I've used with this feature, but because of how good the fit is, how reliably they've been staying put in my ears, I found myself using it for the first time ever, and that is the ability to be connected to 2 things at the same time. I've always experimented with this. I've tried it, but I end up just taking the earbuds out so frequently. Whereas I put them in, I do what I need to do, I take them back out, so it just doesn't end up being useful to me. But for these, because I can put them in and then just not think about them anymore, pass-through is quite good. I can hear as I'm talking. I've had them on, talking to my wife, going to the store, whatever I'm doing. I just leave them in. I can talk just fine. I end up using this dual connection mode. If you jump into the settings on these earbuds, and by the way, I actually quite like the settings for these things. Like, there's quite a bit here to do, but none of it's like super duper overwhelming. You can go into more settings and make sure that multi-point is turned on. Pair them to your phone, put them back in the case, and then press and hold the little button on the back until you get a flashing light. I then paired them to this PC that I am actually filming / editing on right now. And the way it works is if audio is playing through my phone, that's what I hear. But if I pause it and I start playing audio through my computer, I will just hear that. It just stays connected to both of them at the same time. Now, yes, it is something that when you're using it with my computer, there is more latency. So if I'm trying to like play a game or something, maybe I'll swing my sword and then I'll hear the sound a half a second later or something like that. But lately I've been playing Return to Moria, kind of a slow-paced game, and I've actually done some gaming that way, where I've just left my earbuds in. I sat down, started playing, there's the sound through my earbuds. When I'm done, I close the game, I get up, I go somewhere else, I play music through my phone, there's the sound through my earbuds. And because, again, it all hinges on the fact that they stay put, they stay in my ears, they don't fall out, I can just leave them in, and that's what makes that feature now useful to me. And to make the Pixel Buds on your computer experience even better, you can go to mypixelbuds.google.com and actually control them. I can change the noise cancellation and the transparency mode. I can actually mess with the equalizer right here as well. I can truly fully handle these earbuds right here through my web browser on my computer. That's really good. Sticking with things that are pretty good, let's talk about the audio quality on these guys. Now, I must admit, when I first tried them, I couldn't discern a huge improvement versus last year's model. It took me actually swapping them back and forth with the same song to start to notice the difference. Now, of course, you can go in and you can customize your own equalizer, or you can use the equalizers that they have created for you, whatever you want to do. But I started with the default one, going back and forth, and what I noticed was that the new buds do seem to rely on a heavy, almost mushy bass a lot less than the old ones did. These do try to sort of obtain a wider sound stage, a clearer sound stage, more neutral. Again, less of that overbearing, sort of almost mushy bass sound that the old ones had. Now, don't get me wrong, the old ones sounded quite good, but these do just sound clearer, crisper, and more refined. And with my own equalizer preset there, I quite like the way that they sound. We do have all manner of controls like taps, double taps, and triple taps, but one of my favorite features, the ability to swipe on them to change the volume. You would see the volume changing on my phone if it weren't changing the volume on my computer instead, but that actually does work whichever way you're going. Computer played audio last, so it currently has the control there when it comes to the volume control. I really like this whole swiping thing. It also has the ability to pause when you remove them, which is something that, yeah, pretty much every earbud at this point has, but it's worth pointing out. Now, of course, these earbuds do also have active noise cancellation and a pass-through mode. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because it's just really hard to verbally convey to you how well this works. What I will say is, as comfortable as these things are, if the pass-through mode sucked such that I'm walking around and constantly having to take them out to ask people to repeat what they said, that would defeat the purpose, right? That's not happening. I can wear them around the house, around stores, talk to people, and it's just fine. So big check mark on that one. In terms of ANC, there is, like always, a little bit of that pressure feeling, but it's not super overwhelming. I find that it does a pretty good job in stores with crowds. I tend to play some music on top of that ANC, and with that combination, I'm not hearing a whole lot of anything. It's supposed to be better than it was last year, and maybe if I did another back and forth side-by-side test, maybe I could see some small differences. They were good before, they're good now. Now, these earbuds are also being marketed as something more than earbuds, right? Like they're almost like a portal into Gemini, into the new version of the Assistant from Google. And for the most part, it handles this pretty well, but there are a few quirks about these earbuds that drive me just a little bit crazy. So while you're wearing these earbuds, you can see this spoken notification option there. What's going to happen is if you get a notification in this very natural, very believable voice, you're going to hear Gemini say to you, notification, and they'll say text message from such and such, and then it'll read it out to you. I actually find that to be very useful, such that I started thinking, I wonder if I could just wear these earbuds all the time and not even wear my smartwatch anymore, because it's just going to read my notifications off to me anyways. And if I want to respond to them, I can just press and hold on the right earbud. That's how I have mine set. You can change it to however you want. For me, right earbud press and hold is the assistant. Left earbud press and hold toggles between transparency and ANC. Absolutely awesome, great stuff. But here's the problem I ran into. Got a text message, pressed and held, triggered the assistant. I said, text such and such, blah, 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 blah. And it says to me, I can help you with that, but you have to unlock your phone first. So I thought, that's a little bit odd, kind of defeats the purpose. So I got my phone out, unlocked it, and then I ended up kind of doing it again. Something was happening. Gemini was on the screen, but it was like hung up or something. So I just did it again, and it sent it. From then on, anytime I tried to do anything with Assistant, it worked just fine. Until the next time I put my buds away and put them back on. That required me unlocking the phone again. That is how it worked. When you first put these things in, you have to unlock your phone once, and then from there, you're good to go. But until you unlock it that first time, you can't do anything with Gemini. I get why they're doing this for security purposes, but it's kind of annoying how often I would have the buds in, I would find myself wanting to do something with Gemini, I'd hit it and have to go, duh, I gotta take my phone out anyways, and then put it back in. At that point, I might as well just use my phone. Another instance where I run into the whole I might as well just use my phone problem is with resuming music. We'll go back to my phone capture here. Sometimes this is what's happening. I have music playing, and then at some point I will hit my earbud and I will pause that music. Maybe I need to speak to someone, who knows what it might be. I've paused that music, maybe I do something with Gemini, whatever. A few minutes go by and I think, I want to pick up that song where I left off. So I tap it again, and in this instance, the music would just resume playing because it's only been about 3 seconds since I paused it. But what happens far too often is I will tap to begin or to resume my music, nothing happens. I'll long press for Gemini and I'll say resume my music, and it won't really know what I want it to do, even though I can see that my music is right here. It's right there in that player. It's there. You know where it is. You know what's going on. Just resume it, and it just won't. If it's been more than a few minutes, it seems like you just cannot tap to resume your song. At that point, what do you got to do? Pull your phone out of your pocket and resume your music. Now, I think that this might be something to do with how Pixels handle background tasks, right? Like it may be closing YouTube Music or something like that, or basically putting it into like a sleep state where it's still maybe in RAM, but it's not actively running, and so the tap can't wake it up. I don't know, but it's annoying. If the earbuds are in, YouTube Music, whatever you're using for music needs to stay awake. Now, I want to make this very clear. This is not a problem specifically with Pixels. I've seen this exact behavior on other devices with other earbuds. The reason I'm nitpicking about that in this video is because these earbuds are preposterously close to giving us the ability to leave our earbuds in 24/7 and to be able to like almost fully just operate our phone with our phone in our pocket with our voice through our earbuds. It does so much of this well that I'm going to nitpick these two pieces. Having to unlock your phone once to be able to do anything, and then music just refusing to resume if it has set for a few minutes. If Google fixes these two things, I'm going to be a very, very happy person. I do want to nitpick one more sort of small thing that I've noticed. These earbuds have these little grills on the side of them, right? And this is how, it's part of how they do ANC. Sometimes you may grab your earbuds and you may touch those little grill areas when you're adjusting them, putting them in, taking them out, and you might be shocked to hear a very high-pitched squealing sound. And that is not necessarily a bad, I mean, I guess that is a bad thing because it's annoying, but nothing's breaking, right? Like, it's just a thing that happens. It's kind of a glitch in the ANC. So I wanted to let you know that happens to you. Don't freak out. It's annoying. It's weird. I hope that's something that they can fix. The old Pixel Buds did this. These do this as well. It's still annoying. So now you are hearing audio directly from the microphones here on the Pixel Buds Pro 2. Let me know what you think these things sound like, or I guess how you think they sound. They should sound like me, but how do they sound in terms of quality? So there you go, guys. Those are my thoughts on the Pixel Buds Pro 2. It's all about the fit, the comfort, and how they don't fall out of my ears. Everything else was already good. These are a little bit better than last year, but with that fit, these are almost certainly going to be in my pocket for a very long time. If you have any specific questions, drop them in the comments down below, and I will try to answer as many of them as I can. I know someone's going to ask about wind. You've got ANC or pass-through on. How does the wind sound? I've heard some people say it's better than last gen. To me, it was a very, very small difference. It was very windy. We had a hurricane, very windy, come through a few days ago, and I was outside during that, and I switched back and forth. The wind sound was very similar to me. These might have been slightly better, but not a huge difference as far as I could tell. But again, any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.